Good morning everyone. Today we will learn about some other testing strategies. In the previous classes we discussed about unit testing, integration testing. Okay, today we will discuss about some more testing strategy. Now first is we will discuss about the regression testing. See, sometime what happens when we develop our system. Okay, so after developing a system, on time to time basis updations are required in that system. Okay, updations are required for that system. So like see, we have just developed a system, and then after doing some updation, again we need some test. Okay, after doing some updation, again we need a test, and like the strategy we use to perform that test, it is known as the regression testing. See, the purpose of this regression testing is to find the bugs. Okay, to find out the bugs, again we want to find out the error, we want to uncover the error which may introduced because of the new changes or the modification. Okay, because you have already developed a system. See, might be possible that you have done some changes, those are not compatible with your previous changes, or like it is not exactly correct, it is not supporting the system and all. So to check this and to identify the error associated with the new modified changes, we perform this regression testing. This testing, okay, it is very important because like if you are working on a project that there the multiple or the continuous modifications or some enhancements are required. Okay, due to the need of the customer or the demand of the technology or the anything. So these changes or the enhancement, they should not introduce new issues in the existing testing code. Okay, like whenever you are doing some updations, so just for example, you just consider the example of Microsoft Word. So 2003, 7, 10, 13, 17. Okay, so like what they do basically, when they will release the new version, they have to check that whether if like whatever the modifications done by them, they are not affecting the previous code or they are not affecting the previous functionality. So to perform this or to uncover the error associated with this task, we perform regression testing. Okay, this regression testing, it helps us in maintaining the quality of our product. Okay, it helps us in maintaining the quality of our product also with the new changes in the application. It means any any updations you are doing in that application, so like it will also check the correct working of that application, which will help us to improve the overall quality of our product. So when you can use this regression testing? Okay, you can use it when any new feature is added. Okay, when you are adding any new feature, you can add this. Any enhancement is done, that time you can use this. Okay, you can like you are doing simple enhancement in place of just the edit feature. If any bug is fixed, okay, it means suppose there was some error and like you try to fix that error, and for fixing that error, like it demands you have to change some, like you have to do some changes in the code and you have to add some new features or any like coding changes are required. So again, after fixing that bug, might be possible that this like fixing of this bug, it is introducing some other new errors. So in that situation also we can use this regression testing. Any performance related issue is fixed. It means if you are doing any type of changes, okay, if you are even you are providing a solution for your bug, even you are dealing with the performance and all, that time also you will use regression testing. So now just take the example of this regression testing. Okay, just assume, okay, assume that we have an application, okay, which maintains the details of all the student in a school. It means we are talking about that we are talking about this school application. Okay, just check it here. It maintains all the details, all the students in a school. Okay, details of the students in a school. This application, okay, initially we have 4 buttons: add, save, delete and refresh in this, right? And all the buttons, they are working properly, they are doing the associated function with that button, they are like nicely performing, there is no issue. But recently what happened, there is a need of some changes. Okay, like suppose we want to update the details of a student. Okay, suppose he has changed his subject from science to commerce and then any other thing. So the suppose and also suppose address is changed of that student, so we want to do some changes. So because of this, all these changes, we had added one more button, say update button, right? So now what is our task? Our task is to check whether this update button functionality is tested, okay, like it is working properly or not. It means like this update button functionality, it should not affect the working of our complete system which was expected, okay, which is expected. It should not affect that one. It means we know that our work system is working properly with add, save, delete and refresh button, fine. But when you will add one more button, say update, it should not affect the previous working. So like okay, now again read it. So this update button functionality is tested and confirmed that it's working as expected. But at the same time, it becomes very important to know that the introduction of this new button, it should not impact the other existing button functionality. Overall system, even like your system is working as expected, but it should also not affect the functionality of the previous buttons. Along with the update button, all the other buttons functionality are tested in order to find any issue in the existing code, okay. This complete process, we call it a regression testing. You just keep in mind that what is regression testing. If you are working on any project and in that project you are doing some changes, even that changes are related with the correction in the bug, fixing the issue related with the performance, okay, adding some new feature, adding like change in the maintenance and all, like whatever you are doing, and after that the testing technique you are performing, it means the method you are performing to check whether it is working properly or not, that the new feature is not affecting the previous one, we call it a regression testing, okay. Now again check the advantages of this. It helps us to make sure that any change, okay, any changes like bug, performance enhancement and all, it will not impact the existing testing code, okay. It will not impact the existing testing code. It will not cause any error, you can say in simple terms also. It will not cause any error in the existing code. Again, it ensures that the bugs found earlier are not creatable, okay. It also ensures that like the whatever the bugs were there previously, but and after doing the changes, after fixing those bugs, it will not create more new errors. Regression testing, it can be done by using the automation tools, okay. We also have some automation tools available which we are going to learn in the one, like in one session we will learn about the one automation tool. So in this, like you can do this by using some automation tools available. It helps us in improving the quality of our product, okay. Now what's the disadvantage? If regression testing is done, okay, if you are doing this regression testing without any automation tool, it means you are not using any available tool online, it can be very difficult, it can be very exhaustive work, because it may become very time consuming, because we have to execute the same set of test cases again and again. It means whenever you will do some changes, you have to again check all the test cases multiple times, again you will check the same test cases. It means if you are doing the changes 5 times, and even like initially you are running your code for the 10 test cases, so you have to do it 50 times, okay. So you can see it's a very tedious task. If you will try to do it manually, it will consume you a lot of time. So it's like if you are using your here automated tools, so it's good to perform this regression testing. Again, this test is required even when a very small change is done in the code, okay, because this is small modification, it can bring unexpected issue in the existing functionality of your software or the system. So it is expected that even if you are doing a small changes, you will perform this regression, right. So now again just a summary of this. It re-executes a small subset of tests that have already been conducted, okay. Sometimes in place of performing all the test cases, in place of passing all the values, what we are doing, we are just finding out the suitable test cases. It means a subset of the test cases, and we will pass those test cases, okay, which we have already conducted. We are not creating the new test case. Just remember, we are not creating the new test cases here. We will just pass the previous test cases. You can pass the complete test case, as well as you can just take a subset of the previous one and then you can perform. It ensures that the changes have not propagated the unintended side effect, okay. It also helps to ensure that changes do not introduce unintended behavior or additional error, okay. As we discussed, that even after doing the changes, okay, you have done some changes, this change will not affect the expected behavior of your system, fine. regression test suite, it contains 3 different classes of test case. Like just for example, a representative sample of test, okay, that will exercise or which will check all the software functionality, right? It means you have the 5 function in your software, so you will design the test case in a manner which will test all the 5 okay, which will test all the 5 functions in your system. Again additional that focus on, okay, again additional what you will do, that will focus on the software functions that are likely to be affected by the change. Okay, you will also focus on this function, especially test that focus on the actual software component that has been changed. So these are all about the regression testing. Now the next testing is the validation testing. Like this validation testing, we also discussed about the difference between the verification and the validation, if you just remember. So just remind those concepts again. So what is validation? Validation means it is the task to determine if the system compiles, okay, if the system compiles with the requirement and it perform the functions for which it is supposed to do, for which it is expected, and it meets the organization goals and the user need. It means here we check whether our system is, see, verification is what? Verification means whether you have implemented all the functions correctly or not, or validation means what? Whether whatever the functions you have implemented, okay, you are able to satisfy the requirements of the customer, the need of the organization, and also the users, okay, with the help of that system, whether you are able to meet the needs of the organization or not. This is the validation. Now it again this follows the integration testing. It focuses on the user visible actions and user recognizable output from the system, okay. What we are doing basically, because you need this user visible actions and their recognizable output, then only you can say, yeah, it is working up to the mark and it is satisfying the need of the customer. So it basically what is this? It is the demonstration, or you can say it is the confirmation with the requirements, okay. Now what it does, it ensures that all functions requirement, okay, it ensures us, this validation testing, it ensures us that all function requirements are satisfied, all behavioral characteristics are achieved, all performance requirements are attained, okay, all for performance requirements we are able to attain it, all the behavior, function and the performance, right, because these all are associated with the like need of the users and the organization goals. So it ensures all these points, and also it ensures that whether the document or you can call it like a SRS, okay, that SRS, that the software requirement specification which we have created, is correct or not, okay, because it's a validation, it's our proof, yes, whatever we have created, it is correct, because we are able to satisfy the need of the customer. Now again the usability and the other requirements are met. So overall you can say this validation testing, this complete testing, validation testing, it helps us to check whether our system is working according to the needs of the customers or not. It is satisfying the customer needs, with the SRS we have created, it is correct or not, it is satisfying the complete behavior, functionality, or it is giving us the performance or not, okay. So we can check all these points with the help of testing. Now okay, the validation, right, validation, it is done at the end of the development process, right. This validation, this task, it is done basically when it is done. Now the question comes now. So it is done at the end of the development process, and it takes place after the verifications are completed, okay. It means you will see, start from the starting, we are saying that there is a V and V. If you just remember, we also discussed about that, the V and V, okay. So this first V is verification and next V is validation. It means whenever you will perform this validation, before the validation you have to perform the verification, because it is important that whether you have implemented all the functionality, all the expected functionality or not, right. Then after that, it is satisfying the need of each and every one, that is different task, but whether you have implemented this functionality or not, that is important, okay. Yes, this validation answers the question, am I building the right product, okay, am I building the right product, and then am I accessing the right data, okay, am I accessing the right data in terms of the data requirement to satisfy the requirement. So it is a simple high level activity. It is performed at the end of the development process, and it is performed after the verification. Okay, see, like it's like one more point, that it is performed after a work product is produced, right? After a work product is produced, then only you perform this against the established criteria, ensure that the product integrates correctly into the environment, right? Whether your product is also correctly integrated with the into the environment or not. So to check properly that whether it is fitting the customer needs and all, we perform this validation testing. It also determines, okay, it's a determination of the correctness of the final software product by the development project with respect to the user needs and the requirements. Okay, so ultimately we are talking about the organization goals, the needs of the user, whether we are able to prove that whatever is written in the SRS is correct or not. Only it's a proof of your written document, you can say. Okay, you can also see here, check here, what's the difference between the verification and the validation with the help of this diagram. See, these are the needs and the expectations of the customer. Okay, suppose these are the needs and expectations of the customer. After this, suppose like the user is here and user will say, yes, I want this. Okay, user will tell you, I need this, these are my expectations. Then according to the user requirements, like according to the statement given by the user, according to the information collected by the user or the customers, what we will do some specifications. Okay, we will create the proper specification document. We can also call it like the SRS document, and then we will start the process. Okay, here we start the verification. So what is verification? Basically, this verification is like whatever the specification is created. Okay, this verification is, suppose in specification, like when you will create the specification, you will write that there is a login facility, there is a logout facility. Okay, login facility, logout facility, there is updation facility and all. So like we will check, yes, these all the facilities are implemented in our product, so verification is done. But when the product is created, okay, when your product is created here, when it is properly like it is properly implemented, then what you will do, after implemented it properly, now you will check, okay, you will check whether our product is satisfying the need of the customer or not. Okay, if it is satisfying the need of the customer, you will say that this product is correct and it is you can properly validate your data. So this is the difference between the verification and the validation, and even in exams also, if you will get the questions related with this, so you have to answer properly by making the diagram. Okay, now check here the like advantages related with the validation testing. Okay, in this, see, during verification, not the validation, as we are seeing the advantage of the validation. During verification, if some defects are missed, okay, if some defects are missed, then during validation process you can you can catch all the failures. It means whatever you have missed, if some errors you are not able to produce or identify during the verification testing, so when you will perform the validation, you can catch. Again, if during the verification, okay, during verification some specification is misunderstood, if you like somehow you misinterpret the specification and development had happened, then development is also done for that the like misunderstood specification, then during the validation process, when you will execute it, the functionality, the difference between the actual result and the expected result, it can be understood. So whatever the mistakes done or whatever the points we forgot to include in the verification by mistake, when we will perform the validation testing, we can catch all the points. Okay, we can catch easily all the points, there is no issue. When we will perform this, we can also identify the missed error. Okay, this validation it helps in building the right product as per the customer requirements. Okay, and helps in satisfying the need of the customer, satisfying their need. So these are all advantages of validation. Now this is again the one other type of testing, that is the alpha and beta testing. If you like, most of the time this question comes that what is alpha and the beta testing. Okay, so alpha testing, please check. See, when your system is developed, okay, after developing your complete system, what happened basically, the testing will be performed. it means my system is developed. So what you will do, you will also perform some testing that your system is working properly or not, and then again after this you will deliver it to the customer. Okay, so after receiving that software, like after receiving the software, what customer will do, customer will again, because customer is not exactly the end user, there is a person who hired you to work on this project. So what customer will do, customer will also perform some testing, and then when the testing is successful at both the ends, okay, from the developer side also from at the customer side, then only you will give it to the end user, you will open it for the other people, so otherwise you will not open it. So these alpha and the beta testing are associated with that only, and it conduct the developer, okay, it conducted at the developer side by the end user. Software is used, okay, software is used in a natural setting with developer watching intently. It means, see, when you are doing testing at the developer side, because developer has developed your complete system, okay, so it's not a very big task to check the system maintenance or the integrity issue, because I developed that system in my laptop. Okay, so and if I am running that, I am testing it in my laptop, so there is no issue. Or might be possible that when I am going to install it on someone else system, so what happened, there is a compatibility issue, the package or the file is not supported. So it's easy to do this testing because it is a natural setting with the developers watching intently, okay, because developers, they are watching that complete software from the long time, and then it, like again the testing, what is the testing you are conducted, it is conducted in a controlled manner, okay, because you know these are the inputs, and when you will give this types of input, you will get the correct output, otherwise you will get the error. So every time this testing is also conducted in a controlled manner. Now what about the beta testing? See, this beta testing, it is conducted at the end user sites. End user sites means like the customer, you can also say the customer or the people to whom you will deliver your project. When you will deliver the project to them, okay, when you will deliver the project to them, they will again test, and after the continuous testing or after the, like after performing a lot of tests, then only they will open it for everyone. So conducted at the end user side, okay, when this testing is performed, developer is not present there, okay, developer is not present there when they will perform the testing. Also it serves as a live application of the software in an environment that cannot be controlled by the developer. Yes, because like the system is not developed by the end user, it is developed by the developer. So when you will install all the functionality, okay, when you will install all the complete functionality at the customer side, at the end user side, so definitely you are going to check it in a new environment. It's not a familiar environment, and that environment is not set up by the developer, right? So this is basically the difference between alpha and beta testing. And again, like the end user, okay, whatever the errors are recorded by the end user, all problems that are encountered, and like they can report these error to the developer at the regular intervals, okay. So this is the difference between the alpha and the beta testing. So alpha testing, you just remember, it is those it is like this testing is performed by the tester at the developer environment, and beta testing is performed by the tester in the end user environment, okay. This is when you are talking about the alpha testing. In this already it's a controlled environment, because already all the settings are done, and then the developer is also familiar with all the test cases and the code. And again, when you will perform the beta testing, during the beta testing, that environment is totally new, you are going to again create a setup, and then only you can perform the test, then only you can check the functionality. So this is the difference in the alpha, okay. So till now we have discussed about 5 types of testing: unit testing, integration testing, regression testing, validation testing, and alpha and beta testing, okay. In the next class we will discuss about more testing techniques, okay. Till that point, please listen to all the testing techniques, because it is very important to know that how many testing techniques we perform basically on our software, okay. If you have any issue, you can mail me, or you can also write a comment in the classroom. Thank you.